Our next brave speaker this evening is Dr. Judy Singer. Judy is an Australian sociologist, a writer, a public speaker, and a disability activist. She is internationally recognized as being the pioneer of the global neurodiversity movement. In fact, she coined the term neurodiversity. Many of us owe her a great gratitude for bringing to the forefront of her work something that empowers millions. Judy Singer. So thank you for coming and speaking with us this evening. And your work towards the neurodiversity movement, so people don't know that I mentioned before she's the originator of the term neurodiversity. How did your own struggles and your background lead you to pioneering this movement? And maybe we can start by defining what neurodiversity actually is.
Oh, okay. So I've got to apologise for this horrible term that nobody quite understands. I have to say that I actually just had an aha moment and thought, oh, what a perfect word, never thinking twice about what it even meant. And it was a perfect word for the times because it combined the fashions of the time, which was the rise of neuroscience over psychology. People were fed up with paying fortunes for therapy and not changing. Neuroscience seemed to improve. And the green movement, diversity as a desirable thing for any ecosystem, and I thought, why not put them together? Actually, I didn't think that, but obviously deep down in my intuition, it was like, yep, it just fits the times. So what does it mean? It means, well, it's a fancy word for all humanity, but don't tell anyone that because... But what it doesn't mean is it's not a disability. So I noticed that when what they wrote about me, that I was going to talk about my neurodiversity, and I've got a very bad case of neurodiversity. No, it's like, Joey the kangaroo's got a bad case of biodiversity. No, it doesn't mean disability. But basically, I didn't define it, but I'd said what it was for. I wanted to name a social movement for in the mould of the women's liberation movement and people who were neurological outsiders or neurological minorities, as I prefer to call them now. And the other, that was to name the movement. And the other thing was to add to intersectionality, because in those days, disability was just physical, intellectual, and mental illness. And that wasn't us. We just didn't belong. We were bunched into mental illness or weird or oddballs or eggheads. And it also, so I went to university at the time. Tell me if I'm going off the topic.
Yeah.
I went to university at the time, and I was searching for what is it that my mother had, because I knew there was something. And meanwhile, I had my daughter, and she was reminding me of my mother, and I thought, oh my God, it's a hereditary disability. What is it? So I was searching around at university, and I stumbled on disability studies. It just totally blew my mind. And I pursued it, and I kept looking. And I ended up doing an honours degree at UTS, and I did it on autistics communicating in cyberspace, and I called it the birth of something like the evolution of a new social movement based on neurological diversity. And then I just put them together because it was catchy. And it fooled you all.